Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you are all having a phenomenal day. Hope you're having a splendid week and a glorious July.
Yep. Splendid and glorious.
Welcome to the Bingeability Show. This is where we give you all of the latest news, hints, and tips on how to create better video content so that you can get better customers. We got a really exciting show for you today. Lots of things to cover, all about how boring businesses, I say that in parentheses, boring businesses can use video in order to get more video content out there, get more clients, and grow their businesses, even if they are a little bit boring. Because I think it's all great if you've got an exciting social media agency or you've got a fancy product that you can take videos of. But today we're getting into the details on how boring businesses might want to start using videos so that they can stand out from the crowd.
Yeah. And even though you might think, oh, you run an agency and that's exciting, or a software company, just remember that all our competitors know what they're doing, which is really annoying. It'd be great if we ran like a social media agency or a video marketing agency and our competitors didn't know how to create video content, but that's not the case. No. Whereas if you run a boring business, you are in luck because your competitors don't know what they're doing when it comes to marketing as well. So, yeah.
We've always done that. We decided when we were building websites to get involved in SEO. And SEO is notoriously the hardest thing to get into because you have to be on the first page of Google. And we used to write these long articles and optimize our website, but you're going up against experts. You're always going up against experts, aren't you?
Yeah.
But if you could take the knowledge that we have now and go and start, like, I don't know, a new local business, like, or we do pottery.
Yes.
Like the knowledge that you would have would just...
You love pottery. I'm going to enroll you in a pottery class.
It feels like the most furthest thing from what we do ever. Like I remember I used to listen to a podcast and they used to always reference an example whenever they were talking about a random business.
I actually know what this is because you used to
talk about underwater basket weaving. Because it's like so ludicrously different from what they were talking about. They always used to latch onto that example.
Yeah.
Maybe pottery is our thing.
Yeah, we can talk about pottery.
We probably need another alternative thing, which is, I don't know, like underwater pottery or I don't know, whatever, something like that. But anyway.
But when we say boring businesses, we're not being insulting. It's just the more kind of businesses that are everyday businesses and people maybe beyond you that other people don't find so interesting. Maybe their eyes glaze over when you start talking about accounting or something like that, or plumbing or whatever it might be. And before we actually get into how boring businesses can use marketing, I just wanted to say, like, when I say boring business, who do you think of?
Life insurance?
No, sorry, like a person that talks about boring businesses.
Oh, I think of Cody Sanchez.
Cody Sanchez, yeah. And I actually think there's something that you can really learn from her content in that she does so many videos about so many different topics, but there's a thread that runs through them all, and that is buy boring businesses. And it was something that I wanted to say because it's so clever in the sense that her content is all very different. You know, she can be talking about her lifestyle, she can be talking about, profitability and going into like accounting side of things. Whatever she's talking about, there's always this thread running through it, which is buy a boring business. And that's a really, really smart thing. It's something that it only occurred to me when we started talking about boring businesses. I was like, Cody Sanchez, because she just says it over and over again. No matter what topic she's on, it always comes back to that one key thing that she talks about. So I just wanted to point that out, really. I thought it was a very, very smart move and something that we can all learn from.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's quite contrarian in the sense that she is referencing something that feels like an insult, but she's putting it out there as a positive thing, which is, everybody thinks that this is boring. I'm going to tell you that this is the thing to buy.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there teaching you how to launch the next e-com business or start the next AI software or whatever. And she's just gone completely the other way and trying to teach people how to, get back involved with brick and mortar, local businesses. People are retiring. So there's a lot of money out there, especially because the largest opportunity right now is actually lots of people, baby boomers, retiring and wanting to hand their business off to lots of people. So boring businesses are where a lot of money is sitting, but nobody, when they think, oh, you know what, I'm going to start a business when I'm 25 and I'm going to go and buy a laundromat or a local plumbing supply company or a local printers. But these are the kind of companies that need young people, young minds, and support and marketing skills in order to help them reach more of their audience. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today.
Although you won't let me start my own boring business. This is my idea, and someone needs to do it. It's a car valet. Now, my problem with car valets is that my car is horrendous. It's like, it's just biscuits, the crumbs everywhere. There's crisp packets. It
looks like everything. There's been a war crime in the car, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks terrible. Don't get people calling the police. But yeah, it looks pretty awful in my car. And so when I go on car valet websites and they, and they do those before and after, I'm like, I just want my car to look like the before picture on those websites. It's all like these like fancy like sports cars. I don't know anything about cars, but they're just like, even the before looks really good to me. I'm like, I can't go in with my car like that. Like,
it takes a deep clean before you get it deep cleaned. That kind of.
I want a car valet aimed at very messy families, and I think that's a good market to go in. And then you can offer that like the car seat cleaning, because that's horrendous.
Basically, Lyndsay's failed to mention that we have a 7-year-old. If this is the first time, we have a 7-year-old. By himself, which means he's got the complete run of the back seat.
And
he's
that's
where
just everywhere.
His junk after he's finished eating or opening his latest toy.
Everything gets dumped in there. Yeah, exactly. So I think
what's the idea then?
Car valet aimed at families.
Okay.
Your add-ons. I feel like I'm going to go on Scale or Fail with like Alex Hormozi, but I haven't got an actual business, just an idea. Go on Dragon's Den. With your add-ons being like a car seat clean, they can install your car seat. You can buy those little like car organizers for kids' toys. That could be an add-on. Like, and also not to make you feel like shit if you're bringing it in and it looks awful. They can be like, no problem. There's custard creams crammed down the seats in it. That's fine. That's fine. We love that. The messier the better.
And the funny thing is those kind of car valet, if they actually filmed that content, that kind of content goes viral.
I feel like I'm convincing him now.
You know those women that go into those hoarder houses and they film themselves. Their entire TikTok is like, I'll clean your house for free as long as I can film it. Are you
comparing our car to that? That's pretty much what it would be, yeah.
But people watch that stuff. And I'm like, not only do people watch that stuff, but people won't bring their car into the car valet.
I would just feel ashamed to bring I need someone to not make me feel ashamed. If you can take away shame from people, I think that's pretty profitable.
Okay.
so a non-judgmental car valet service
for parents,
for busy parents. And the more biscuits crammed into the side, the better. Than they're not bothered. And the upsells on that could be really good.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
this is our new business idea.
Multiple businesses, but feel free to start something you've never done before.
Someone else could start it. That'd be great, because I would absolutely take my car there.
But yes, that's an example of a boring business that probably would do well with kind of video content. But anyway, let's get on with the show. First thing we want to cover is this report from Marketing Week.
It's a really interesting report, actually. Basically, it's done by LinkedIn. They said that marketers are more skeptical than ever. A lot of things that we kind of know already, that people prefer to buy from brands. People prefer to buy from people rather than brands. So branded content doesn't do as well, and that people value peer recommendations and experts over, say, very polished corporate content. And that probably shouldn't come as a surprise for many people. Even though it doesn't come as a surprise, you still see big corporate companies doing it for some strange reason. But I think that you are at an advantage if you're prepared to be the face of your business and put content out there. But more interestingly, from this report was the fact that 71% of B2B buyers are now Gen Z or millennials.
Wow.
Which I don't know why really surprised me. And I don't know if much of a shift has happened in B2B to appeal to the millennial, because in a millennial mind, I think we're still like 23.
Yeah.
Like, we're not like, yeah, I just think that right now a lot of businesses still haven't moved with the times. So millennials notoriously hate getting on calls. They hate answering the phone. I hate answering the phone. I hate the thought of a sales call. But so many businesses, you still can't get a price without going on a call for an hour with some salesperson.
Book a demo.
Book a demo. We'll never have a book a demo.
Yeah,
Well, you probably could book a demo, but we'll tell you the price first off.
Our service is different. It's bespoke. Like, these are all of the things that wind millennials up.
We have to get on a call first, and it has to be 4 weeks on Tuesday until you find out the price.
Guilt trip people into buying from you when they're like, okay, I need to go and think about it. Like, nobody wants that kind of situation, do they?
No, it's horrendous. And I think that a lot of businesses aren't catching up with that, and the fact that you should be creating content around your pricing, how you work, your processes, everything like that in advance of someone actually having a sales call with you. And I think that the more businesses do that, the more they'll appeal to the millennial or the Gen Z person.
Absolutely. Especially if there's a personal brand behind that business. You know, we all want to buy from people, but we also don't want to talk to them just yet until we're 100% right.
We like people, but we don't.
Yeah, we like people, but we like people from afar.
Yeah. Just don't talk to us.
Yeah, just don't talk to us. If you send us a message, you might get a reply, but maybe not.
Just a WhatsApp message, not a phone call.
But the reality is that businesses now need to adopt the new mindset. It's not 1995. We need to get ourselves to a point where we're like 99% convinced with a product that we just need to speak to them at the very last marker, at the very last stage, to just ask some clarifying questions. You know, when we speak to prospects, when they come to our agency and they come to work with us, we charge thousands of pounds a month to manage their content. It's not cheap. But by the time we get on a sales call with people, they've probably already consumed enough of our content for us to be like, okay, so you know the price, you've seen it, you know what we do. Yes. And now our sales calls are like tiny. We don't have many sales calls at all. And people are at the point where they're buying from our website. And this is what happened when we launched a brand new service a couple of years ago. We'd put out enough content to talk about the product when all we did was just launch a waiting list. We got people to enter their details. And then when we opened the doors, it was, I think the lowest price package was £1,000 a month. And people were just buying it because they'd already consumed enough content and they didn't want to miss out.
Yeah.
So when you combine content and transparency with something like a wait list with a limited amount of available spaces available, then people don't need to speak to you.
No.
We weren't speaking to these prospects. They were just signing up and hiring us.
Yeah, spending thousands every month. Yeah,
so it does work, but this is the millennial approach.
It is the millennial approach.
The Millennial Blueprint.
Yeah.
Never talk to any prospect.
And it's so weird because we had this very, thing that just this week where our team were notified on our agency side that one software that we use for social media scheduling was going up by like 1,000 every single month. So we were like, right, we need to find a new software because that's ridiculously high. So we went on the path, Daniel on our team went on the path of looking for companies, and he found one. And on the website it said, we charge this. So it was very clear that he was going to book a demo with them because other websites didn't actually say what they charged. And in his mind, he was thinking, well, they could be exactly the same price. So I'm not going to get on an hour call just to find out the price. He just booked the demo with the one that said there was the price. And then on that call, he was like, do you have this feature? Do you have that feature? Will it match up? And it did. And that's who we went with. But I don't know why companies don't get this. It's so simple. And if you are more expensive, one of the pieces of content that we've written before is why we're more expensive than other people. And I've actually seen really good videos on this. There's a company called Dutchman Leather in America, and they are more expensive. The leather products that they make are made in America. And they did a great video about the craftsmanship that goes into it, why it's more expensive than, say, China, where, you know, the people that make the products, you know, it's cheaper to hire them, whereas it's more expensive when it's American made. And that was a great video showing and proving, you know, the quality of their product. So even if you are more expensive and you think that might put people off, just be open about it, be transparent about it, create content around it, and you'll attract the right people. Just own it. And I think people are afraid to own it, but it shows real confidence in your product when you do.
Yeah. And there's this one service, there's this agency out in the States, and they are more expensive than I've ever seen anybody charge for a particular like B2B video service. And it was amazing to see the pricing table on their website. And it was just like, book a call, but these are the prices. So it was like a combination, which is these are the baseline prices for this many videos. And the link is not to pay just yet, it's to book a call. So you have the reference point, but they're inundated with leads because nobody has to worry about what the prices is. What happens? Here's what happens when I go to buy a product. I'll go to a website and I'll find a pricing page. And even if it's more expensive than I expected, I might just not take action there and then. I might just say, let me have a think about it. And then I'll convince myself, because I do this all the time, I'll convince myself of why it's a good thing. So it's like going and looking at a holiday or looking to buy a piece of furniture. It's like, oh, it's more expensive than I was considering. But then your mind can't stop thinking about it. It's like, I really want that thing. And then you justify it and you're like, well, maybe if I cancel this and I cancel this and I cancel this. Now imagine if you were on a sales call and somebody had no idea how much you charged. And then you give them the price and then they're like, oh, wow, that's a real surprise. And then you feel this pressure to sign them up. And they feel this pressure to be like, this is more expensive. They've not got the freedom to make up their own decision. So we just found from a really, really early age, and obviously our friend Marcus Sheridan's been preaching about this for 10 years, like put your prices on your website, even if you are more expensive. People need time to get to that point. You can't just expect them to sign up off a single phone call or a single Zoom call. So the more transparent you are with your prices, the easier it is for you to get customers, and the more prime they are for when you do speak to them. It just makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And even then, if you found a website that was more expensive, but every other website you went on didn't reveal the prices, you'd be like, am I going to go and call all the other people to try and get a price? Or do I just go on this original one that just gave me the price in front?
What are they hiding by not showing you the price?
Hiding?
What are they sneaky folks?
I didn't know what you were going to say then. You went with folks. That's good.
But anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is how millennials like to buy, essentially.
Yeah.
We say all of that to say that these are the people that are about to be.
So, yeah, they might not be the CEO. They might not be the one in charge, but they are making the buying decisions, the majority of the buying decisions, millennials and Gen Z. So if you do run a business and you haven't kind of caught up with that, I think you have to shift, and you've got to shift quickly. No one wants to be pitched at. No one wants to go on sales calls anymore. People want to find out the price at 3 a.m. in the pajamas while they're eating cereal, whatever they want to do. They want to know. They don't want to wait weeks.
Absolutely.
So boring businesses, the next really interesting article, which was about, more and more people buying boring businesses. So yeah, that was a really interesting one. And Cody Sanchez was actually mentioned in that as well. But 64% of small business buyers are now millennials or Gen Z. So on the millennial kind of theme. And they are fueled by a baby boomer retirement. So there's a lot of baby boomers that own these small businesses, laundries, car valets, plumbing, whatever it might be, that are wanting to retire. Some of them don't even want to sell for that much. They just kind of want the business off their hands so they don't have to deal with it anymore, and into, some safe hands. And maybe they want to keep, make sure that their employees are kept and things like that. But what can millennials do that are buying these boring businesses? Because there's a huge opportunity, isn't there, for millennials?
Yeah, I mean, we just walk down the street where we live and we see these old-fashioned printing companies and these...
it's like full laundrettes, laundrettes,
and things like like car, not dealerships, but like mechanic garages and things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's tons of things that we would do if we entered into that business when it came to social media, when it comes to, you know, generating content, when it comes to showcasing the people behind the badge and the people who work there. Everyone's got a story to tell. I think it would be so interesting to take our video content, social media minds into a boring business and think, okay, well, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating because we've got a mobile in our pocket. We've got a microphone that you can get for less than $30. Like, it doesn't take a lot for you to just go around and record some videos.
Yep.
You've been watching that guy who makes signs, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Tony.
Yeah. Tony makes signs.
So it's a sign making
like
business.
This.
Very boring in general.
Yeah, very boring.
Not particularly, I mean, yes, a little bit aesthetic, but most signs, they're just normal, boring signs.
Yeah, the signs aren't really the thing. It's just the fact that he can be quite funny with them. But yeah, there's tons of things you can do. There's even around where we live, there's lots of tailors. So I was speaking on stage a couple of months ago, and I needed some trousers lengthening. And actually the websites, I mean, the website, but we laugh, but these businesses are brilliant businesses. The teams there are fantastic at what they do. They're really profitable. They're so busy. I was astounded. I rang loads and they were like, no, not until October. It's wedding season. I'm like, okay. I didn't realize that one of 5 tailors in this very small town that I live in will all be booked up. So you've got like an amazing business there, but they've got terrible websites and their social media is non-existent.
Mostly they're reliant on referrals.
And they're not kind of growing. They're just staying kind of as, 2 or 3 people, but there's just so much opportunity there for you to get one, to grow it, to expand it, to introduce technology so people can book online with their tailoring, so that you can create video content out of it and more people can follow you and you get more customers. There's just so much opportunity there, isn't there?
There really is. And we had we recently hired a gardening company, like a landscaping company, to redo the back of our garden after we had home renovations. It was destroyed, like a building site. So we went and we rang around and we got gardening companies to come around. And gardening companies, you think, well, what's the difference? They're all much of a muchness. So you're competing kind of on price, I suppose, or me as a beginner, not really knowing what they do. But when we met one particular landscaping company, I wouldn't necessarily say he was the most like lively, energetic, or even the cheapest. But what he did was he recorded a video in our garden and took some photographs before we got a quote. And what he did was he went to ChatGPT. I found out later, he went to ChatGPT and he put the photograph into ChatGPT and said, here's what I want to do to the garden. Can you create a photograph? And then he sent us the quote, but sent us the photograph as well. Now, this was amazing because what he did is he put them side by side. Old crappy garden, brand new polished AI garden. Which one do you like? And it was so funny because the other people were cheaper, but they'd not really like even considered using AI or video AI to tell us or show us what the garden could look like. And even when there was something that we asked for that he didn't actually want to do, he was able to show us with this AI video and with this AI photograph an alternative. And it meant that we could picture the alternative because it was cheaper, easier for him, whatever the reason was. And we were just like, oh yeah, that looks great. I see what you're saying now. And we went with him, even though he wasn't the cheapest. That's a boring business that's using technology and video content in order to get customers. That's not how can you go in and create content for a business. That's generating leads, generating sales, and getting someone over the line when when they need sales. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And I think as well, more importantly than anything, we've got a lot of young people coming out of school or going to university, and it's a very tricky time at the moment to get kind of jobs and things like that. So encouraging more young people to you know, even look at buying a business, which for us at like 20 would have been a bit crazy, although we did set up a business. But giving them that support, but the knowledge and skills that those young people have with social media, with technology, that they can bring to these business to make them more profitable would be incredible. So it's a really exciting thing. I think if people want to do it, you know, we should really be encouraging them.
We really should. But also, how many times in our business journey have we had a phone call from a local college or a local like council member, and they've said, would you like a intern? Would you like a work experience person? Would you like someone? And we've just always been like, oh, well,
because we work from home, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, but we're going to have to, this is why most businesses don't do it, because, oh, I'm going to have to find work for them, and they're going to end up making coffees and stuff. You put out a job for experience and an internship or work experience for a couple of weeks for social media creation, they will absolutely jump on that. That's the kind of thing that you don't have to train for. You would say, what do you think that we should do in order to, you know, record some videos, get some content out? And a lot of the time it comes more natural to some of these younger people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you can definitely. I mean, there's obviously advantages and disadvantages of both, but yeah, I think for young people to find opportunities, that's where they could potentially be, and that's something that they can use to their advantage. Definitely. When I go to the hairdressers, it's the young trainees that are there that always got the phones out, like doing the before and after. Again, you know, the before and after kind of thing. So yeah, I think that it works. It's not that they would manage your entire social media strategy. Certainly for like in our agency, it's generally people much more experienced. But I think when you've got someone who's on their phone all the time and on social media, really, you know, a lot, they bring a different, you know, level of knowledge as well, that you can absolutely use.
But my advice would be, if you are in a boring business, or if you're wanting to support a boring business, the first thing you can do is just conduct interviews with the people on the team. You know, we do this when we go out and we meet clients and we film content. We meet all of the people on the team, even just as a data gathering, as a story, as an experience, as a knowledge gathering exercise. And we'll sit down and we'll say, why did you start working for this company? What is it you love about your job? Give me an example of something that happened this week that made you smile. Like, you could literally just get those videos out. You could publish them. You could make quick cuts, and people fall in love with the people. This is why when we're watching something on TV, if it's quite plot driven, I'm like, oh, this is great. And Lyndsy's like, yeah, but where's the characters? I want to know about the characters. And I'm like, they're just for the action. And Lyndsy's like,
you just want the fight scenes.
There's no story arc. This person needs a goal.
There's just I can't get behind the characters, Martin.
Well, that's the thing. That's what makes video so powerful when it comes to boring businesses, because you're taking potentially a boring plot line and adding characters to the mix.
Exactly.
And there's always that one dark horse on the team that's the funny one that never gets. They're not the CEO necessarily. Sometimes it's, you know, the person that works just middle management, or maybe they've just started and they're just hilarious and everybody laughs at them. Yeah. Everybody's got those characters inside of the business. Just make sure you're prepared to get the camera out, spend a little bit of money on a microphone, $20, $30, and just start speaking to these people. There's tons of trends going around. There's tons of content ideas, but ultimately you can just start by interviewing people on your team and then start publishing it on your social media pages, your Instagrams, your TikToks. All the time you'll scroll through and you'll see these old-fashioned businesses with a young person with a camera and they've got hundreds of thousands of views. And the CEO's like, I don't know what's going on. That's what we're talking about. Be that confused person.
Exactly. Brilliant.
Amazing.
That's great. So the hook of the day for today, it's quite a nice one, a relatively straightforward one for you to do. So here it is. Here's one of the easiest ways to get, and then the result that your audience wants. So here's one of the easiest ways to get 3 new clients this month.
Here's one of the easiest ways to get video for your boring business.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, really easy.
Everyone can do that one.
Yeah.
Everyone can do that one. Okay. So we will see you again. We're not live tomorrow, but we are live on Monday.
Yeah, we're traveling up somewhere else tomorrow, so that'll be nice.
To Newcastle here in the UK. which is an amazing city if you've never been. But it does mean that we'll catch up with you on Monday for another show of Bingeability and another hook of the day and some more fun.
Yep. See you then.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.